side ACCM. I'm currently working at S&P Global in the private equity side. I'm into the data operations of private equity funds, and I recently joined CJC. Thank you so much for Samir sir for giving me this opportunity. And there are many things which I have to learn, and I'm still learning. I'm still a learner. And yeah, that's all from my side. Over to you, Yusuf.
Hey, so good afternoon, everyone. I am Mohammad
Yeah.
Yusuf, born and brought up from Hyderabad. I've completed my MBA Finance and CMA US, currently working as a financial analyst at ServiceNow. So that's all about me. Starting with this, like today's session. We are here to discuss about, professional courses that are available, both national and international courses for a commerce background folks. So
Uh,
can we start the presentation, Zaid? Yeah. Yeah, so one of the Indian, first we talk about Indian courses, then we'll move to international courses. So one of the most courses, like one of the most famous courses, CMA India. Well, CMA India stands for Cost and Management Accounting. This course mostly covers costing aspect, budgeting, costing, variance, and all. So, you can start this course soon after 12th. If someone has completed their 12th, irrespective of any background, whether he's from science, commerce, or arts, they can start it soon after 12th. Also, so yeah, if you start after 12th, you'll be having three levels. First level is like CMA entrance, then intermediate, and then final. So each level is designed differently. Each level, the level of difficulty, or the level of understanding is different, and that it's into more detail. So yeah, you can each first level, entry level will be having foundation will be having four papers or four subjects, and intermediate will be having eight papers, and so does the final. So, intermediate and final is divided into two modules again, like paper one, paper two, or, final also. So each module will be having four set of papers. So if you start with soon after graduation, you have to go through with all the three levels. And if you are someone who is graduate, who has completed their graduation or masters, and they want to pursue, they can directly come with second level, like intermediate level. They'll be having exemption for level one. And coming to this.
Hello, like, is he there? Hello.
Zed, I think Yusuf left.
I think yeah, accidentally he left. No issues, guys. I'll continue from his side. Like, are you all able to hear me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So no worries. I'll continue. Don't worry. So basically, CMA stands for Cost and Management Accountant. It's basically have to do with everything from the costing part. For example, let's say I have this particular pen. It cost costing me, let's say the selling price of the pen is 10 rupees. So how did the seller decided that I have to sell this pen at 10 rupees? There has to be some costing behind it. There has to be some cost like materials, variables, overheads. Then they come to an approach that we calculate the cost of that product, we add some profit margin when we come to the selling price. So in this particular course of CMM, it is specializing in the strategic cost management. How do you manage cost? How do you minimize cost? What are different kinds of techniques in managing cost? So firstly, I want to understand from you all, in your own easy layman words, what do you all understand by the term called cost? I'm not looking for any ideal answer. I'm just, curious to know what do you understand by the term, because the entire course is, is based in costing. So I want to know what do you understand by cost. You can please answer anything in your chat box. Yeah, you can give your answers in chat box. Just a second. Yeah,
Am I?
anyone? Yeah, I think Yusuf is back now.
Sorry so much. Current gone at my place, and I just
No
got.
issues, no issues, Yusuf.
Sorry.
So yeah, Imran is saying whatever the amount we buy to something. Exactly. For example, if you are buying a phone,
Okay.
let's say the phone is, let's say, is 1 lakh.
Okay.
How did the seller came to a selling price that we have to sell this phone at rupees 1 lakh? There has to be some production cost behind it. There has to be cost, like there has to be proper cost of the materials, transport, and all. Then the seller might have added a profit margin. Then we have right to a particular selling price. So in companies, the cost management is something which is very crucial. So no matter, yeah, cost is the amount we spend to make or get a product. Yeah, exactly. Whatever product which you are, buying or selling, whatever price which we pay, that is the cost. So it is for companies, like, for example, like, have you all have heard about the budget? Every year, every year the Nirmala Sitharaman comes, they present us a budget. Like, have you all heard about budget? Like, do you have any idea? If you follow any, financial news or business news, you might have heard about it. The country is also planning how much, they're planning to spend. You might have heard things like the government is planning to spend on education, on airspace, or any other, field. So it is something which is very crucial for us to understand how are we managing costs, how are we planning the cost, and how are we going to mitigate, how are we going to manage it. So this particular qualification, CMM, we specialize specifically in the cost side. So we understood about cost. Can anyone tell me what do you understand with the term called management, and why do you think the management of cost is very crucial? Like, I'm not looking for any ideal answers. You can say in your easy layman words. I just want to know your POV. I'm looking at the chats box as well. No, I'm asking why do you think it's important for us to manage cost? Let's say if you are running a particular company, you have heard that you are deciding what should be the selling price of the particular thing. You have to assess what is the production cost, which is the total cost. Then you can come to a selling price. I think that that's the most important aspect of any company. The specific field called financial planning and analysis, in which you plan the cost, you analyze them, and you make the future decision out of it. So coming to the core structures, there are basically three levels: foundation, intermediate, and final. And if you are a graduate, any commerce graduate, you will be exempted from the foundation level. You have to come towards only the intermediate and final level. After clearing your intermediate, you have to do some articleship. Just if I'm not wrong, 1 or 2 years. If possible, you could please confirm, Sami. If you could, if you could please confirm, Yusuf.
It's 15 months now
It's
updated.
15 months now. Okay. So yeah, this is about the course, and it's a the course is not very expensive. All the Indian qualifications, these are very budget friendly. It hardly takes 1 to 2.5 lakhs. The pass percentage is slightly low. The foundation has the highest pass rate, 40%, and the final has the lowest pass rate, which is 10%. And you can yeah, so you can easily, get as a qualified CMA and easily plan to get in a CTC of 9 to 12 LP. Again, that depends upon what company you are looking, what is the, what is your background, how is your communication skill. So salary is something which is very subjective, but yeah, the mostly after doing CMA, people get into fields like, FP&A or cost accounting, specifically in industries like the manufacturing industry. They have the highest requirement of cost accountants for their budgeting part, for their forecasting part, because this is where the highest amount of production costs are incurred. And yes, till now is everything clear? Do you have any doubts? If you have any doubts, please let me know. Hello. Yeah, I can see one comment. Sneha, cost management is important for making internal decisions. Yes, exactly. For example, if the company is having different kind of products and they have to price the project, they have to first plan them. Then they have to, there's a proper thing called as budgeting. How do you budget it? Then you compare it with the actual result. Then again, it is very important part, and like it's a very important part for the decision making of a company. There is in decision making also, there are three fields like operational, management, and strategic. All the cost management side has to do with the managerial side, or the the management side of decision making. So till now, do you have any doubts? Is everything clear till here? Can you please confirm me? Yes. Yes. Okay. Like anyone is having any doubts still here? Any specific doubts? How can we go for this course, sir? Like if you are a 12th pass, you can directly register with the ICMI Institute and you can start giving your foundation exam. If you are a graduate, then again you have to go through a direct entry route. Again, you have to register by registering yourself with the institute called ICMAI, Institute of Cost and Management Accountants of India. You have to, it's a statutory body. You have to register with that particular institute to, to start giving the exams and completing the qualification. I hope I'm clear, Sufyan. Okay. Is anyone having any more doubts? Yes, sir. CMA India is worth out of India. To be very honest with you, again, this is something which is very subjective, and I think Yusuf might be the right person to answer it.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, Zaid,
Yeah,
for taking this up. Okay,
yeah.
so yeah, like one more thing I would like to add about passing, passing criteria and all. So for Indian courses, be it CMA India or CS, like if you want to pass the foundation or intermediate or final, each module will have four papers. So you need to score 40 percentage plus in every paper, and overall it shall be 50%. So suppose you are giving, intermediate part one. So there are four papers. So you need to score 40 plus in all papers and overall shall be 50, more than 50 percentage. So that is how you will be passed. Is it clear how the passing the criteria happens here?
You can repeat that once again, sir. So,
Sure, sure, sir, sure. So like for let's suppose in intermediate and final, there are eight papers are divided into two modules. Like they call it as a module. We can also tell them as a part A, part B. So if you want to pass part A, there are four papers. You have to score minimum 40 for more than 40 marks in all papers, and overall it shall be more than 50%, like 40 40 40 four papers, and overall it shall be like more than 200 marks. If suppose you have scored more than 40 40, like 44 45 46, but still you won't be passed if your overall is less than 50 percentage.
I think I can see one more question.
Hmm.
Mohammed, can you tell me more about internal auditing, or is it worth more than CA? Things like accounting and auditing part, these are more inclined towards the qualifications like CA, ACCA, and CPM. In CMA also you study auditing, but that's not internal audit or statutory audit. That's more on cost audit. So if you are planning to make a career in internal audit, qualification like CA or ACCA or CPA could be more appealing rather than CMA.
Okay, like I have somewhat different aspect here for this internal audit. Like CMA US focus a lot on internal audit. Both parts of US CMA has internal audit part. So if you are getting into internal audit, SOX audit, then yeah, CMA US is considered for that. For if you want to go up the ladder in internal audit or SOX or risk advisory, they name, you can have like CIA to get more up. But with a CMA US, you can get entry into internal audit. Yeah. Are we clear with Indian CMA? Like, do we have any question or we can move ahead with any other? Hello.
So I think we should move forward. If there are more questions, we'll take it at the end.
Yeah, sure, sure, that.
Yeah.
So company for CS, company secretary, like this is a course like which is very important, equivalent to CA CMA, but not very known. But yeah, so this course is more about about law and compliance. If someone who doesn't want to make career at accounting side, for whom
Or
accounting doesn't excites them, who want to go for law part, it's the best course for them. So this course also has three levels, same like all Indian courses. Eligibility is also same. Soon after 12th, you can start. If you start after 12th,
oh,
you'll have to take three levels. If you start after graduation, you have to take two levels. So first will be CS EET, like entrance, CS entrance, you know, sorry. So CS entrance or foundation updated is now it is happening 4 times in a year, like Jan, May, July, November. Okay. So you
Okay.
can take entrance at any of these windows. And once you clear your entrance, you will be CS executive program. That executive program again having 8 papers divided into four modules or four parts. And same passing criteria is also same here. Like each individual paper you'll be scoring 40 more than 40 marks, and overall you shall be having 50 percentage. Then only you will be passed here. And coming to its articleship or practical exposure, like CS has three kind of practical exposure. Once you complete CS level 1, you'll be having some around 15 days industrial training or some program. After level 2, you'll be having mandatory 21 days program. And before
Mm,
taking your final, or before taking your membership or chartered, you shall be going with this 21 months
and okay.
articleship. The updated one is 21 months. You can start your articleship experience after level 2, like professional, or
So, so,
after when you are into final. So yeah, this course mostly focus on the legal side, law side, not
mm,
much into accounting side, although you will learn taxation in this course also, and somewhat basic accounting here also. So yeah, do we have any question here? Hello.
I don't think I can see any questions.
Okay.
Which is better, US CMA or CMA India?
We'll definitely get
Yeah,
there
we'll
also.
get there
We'll have
once we
US
are
CMA also.
like, are there, what about job opportunities?
Like job opportunity for CS.
Yes.
Yeah, there are job opportunity. Obviously, completing CS course will show that your determination, your in-depth understanding of company law, business taxation laws, and with CS you can start your own practice also in India. So basically CS will be more into more what I have seen with my friends. Like they are more into like asset heavy industry, like oil companies, mostly into. And although they are into MNCs also, like BDO hires a lot of CS, fresh CS. So yeah, you can get into that. Like if you don't want to do accounting and you want to make a career in commerce, then CS is, one of the best course to choose.
Yeah,
Also,
one
one
thing
thing,
I'd like to mention
yeah,
here
Yes.
regarding the CS job opportunities. So I have seen what happens is every company has some threshold of their turnover, right? The sales. So once that is crossed, I'm talking about India. So once that threshold is crossed, then mandatorily every company must have the CS, one full-time CS. So you can understand there are a lot many thousands of companies within India, and everyone would require like at least one CS. So we can understand the importance of it. And as Yusuf rightly mentioned, it's more about like theoretical papers only. I think one or two subjects are which are practical. If you're not
mhm.
a accounting guy, then definitely this subject or this course is really fit for you. Thank you guys. Over to you.
Also, one thing I wanted to add on for CS is, as I said, it's more about compliance. For the things like signing the board minutes, or minutes of meeting, any kind of thing which requires compliance, specifically in the financial industry, whether you are working in insurance or asset management, where you're actually dealing with the monies of people, there is more compliance required. So wherever there is compliance, where there is any documentation, whether it's thing like signing board minutes, whether it's anything like securities or market capital markets law, CS is definitely required. If you are someone who is not a numbers guy and more interested in learning theory, and CS might be the best career for you. And yeah, after CS, most people get into roles like related to compliance, corporate governance, although all the governance side. So I hope everything is clear till here, or like, do we have any doubts?
I think we can move ahead.
And I think there is one doubt. Is
Okay.
Indian
I'm not able to.
CS
Okay.
Yeah, is Indian CS valuable and recognized out of India? To be very honest with you, all the Indian qualifications like CA, CS, CMA, you study more on the Indian aspect. For example, in CS, a thing like direct tax law or compliance law, that has to do with the Indian side. If you want to go to different countries like US or UK, they have different compliance requirement. They have different securities law. Yeah, Indian CA can definitely help you, but you have to pursue something different. You have to pursue the qualification which is required in that jurisdiction. And yeah, also you can see one more question. What about workers in securities market? Yeah, you can work in security markets. Firstly, what do you understand by security markets? And secondly, if even if you are working in security markets, your role is more on the compliance and governance side. You are not towards the finance or accounting part. I hope the things are clear, Aftab and Samir. May I know the threshold limit? My threshold limit, as in, I didn't get you.
Yeah,
So,
it's a 10 crore, so I put in the chat box.
Okay.
10 CR, Sami bhai, that is?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you so
You
much.
can read in the message. Yeah, I put it.
I think I can move forward.
Sure.
Yeah, over to you.
Yeah, so coming for USCMA, USCMA is a lot of these days is in a lot of talks, a lot of people are opting for USCMA. These days the courses which are offered by universities are, integrated BBA with USCMA or BCom with USCMA. So yeah, USCMA is considered as a global finance passport. Okay. People name it as a global finance passport. This is International Certified Management Accountant offered by IMA USA, which has two papers. I mean, two papers, strategic finance and financial planning and analytics. So, each paper is divided into six subparts. And, the exams happen thrice a year. Like there are three windows, Jan, Feb, May, June, September, October. So, from these three windows, you can book exam on any day. Like suppose from Jan 1st to 28th Feb, you can book on any day and you can go and take your exam. Exam is divided into again the five, like four exam. Each part will be consist of 500, and out of 500 you have to score 360. Like you need to score 72% to pass this certificate. And to pass it, 4 hours exam will be there. First 3 hours will be MCQs based. 100 MCQs will be there. The MCQs will be consisting 75% weightage, and there'll be two case studies. Case studies will be for 1 hour. So first 3 hours will be given for MCQs. You have to take time to crack the MCQs. If your 50% of the MCQs are correct, then only your essay window will open, or else it won't. So, if your essay window didn't open, that means you have failed the exam. Okay. And, you can take any part in any order. Like you can take first part two, then part one, or part one, then part two. What's the question? Will MCQs have? No, there won't be negative marking. Like in international courses, there won't be any negative marking, be it US courses or UK courses. In Indian courses, negative marking will be there, but there won't be any negative marking for US courses or UK courses. Yeah, USCMA is one of the ideal to get into FP&A, and USCMA is something which is broadly accepted, like worldwide it is accepted compared to Indian CMA. Yeah, USCMA is upper hand at global level. So if you are someone who want to get into out of India, especially Gulf, USCMA is highly accepted, or American countries or any European countries. The duration is also very less. The cost is compared to Indian course, cost is high. Like overall cost, if you are profession, like if you're into working professional, overall cost including coaching will be coming around 1.8 to 2 lakhs. If you're student, you're currently pursuing your like graduation or masters, you have an opportunity for scholarship. If you apply for scholarship and if you get the scholarship, then you don't have to pay anything. only your coaching fees will be there. Like with whichever institute you are going for coaching, that coaching fees will be there. You don't have to pay anything for exams or license or like anything.
Okay, Mohammed is asking what is investment banking. I'll come to investment banking once I discuss the CFA course. And here's one question. Negative marking you have covered. Investment banking, I'll come once I, start the CFA discussion.
So do
So,
we have any question for USCMA? And also one thing like coming to job opportunities, there are ample amount of opportunities for
uh,
USCMA guys. IMA, which is the regulatory body for USCMA, has a tie-up with a lot of companies like this DXC, Wipro, Electronic Arts, and HP, to name few. So if you qualified one part also as a student, there'll be two hiring cycles for these companies. They will mail you like regarding their opening, and once you apply there, there'll be only two interview rounds, and you get into those companies. And mostly they hire for FP&A roles only. Study plan for USCMA suggestion. Any suggestion for coaching institute? Yeah, coaching. There are a lot of coaching institute. Like different coaching institute uses different materials. Some uses mostly there are four famous materials for there. Hawk, Wiley, Glemm, and Surgeon is also there. So you can just YouTube different coaching institute. Everyone's teaching style is different. Whichever teaching style you are getting, you are suiting, go and take admission into that coaching institute. I am 42 working in the accounting for the yes, why not? Like I remember when I was taking USCMA with me, a lot of people who were AVP or even senior manager with more than 10, 15, 20 years, they were also studying, and yeah, you can take it up. And yes, the major hiring firm in India is Big Four. Big Four hires a lot of USCMA, and also they sponsor USCMA. See, like practically means if it's easy, it's not worth it, and if it's worth it, it won't be easy. I mean, that depends on difficulty or like easiness depends on our background also. How much I know already about accounting or how much you know already about the process and all. If you're a student, suppose if you are a student, Imran, and you have good basics of accounting and finance, then the course won't be much difficult, although the course is comprehensive. Yeah,
oh,
so it's very subjective, difficult
uh,
or passing. If you want to see the passing percentage, 45% is the passing percentage. Like out of 100, 45 people are passing. So passing percentage is very good. The best thing is the duration.
I
Yeah,
think like we should move forward.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean for CPA, I mean CPA is the gold in today's day. Like CPA, yeah, CPA. So CPA stands for Certified Public Accountant. You can compare it with Indian CA. So, as you know, in US, there is a lot of accounting shortage, like accounting demand. A lot of people are resigning in US from accounting jobs, and accounting jobs are coming to India, specifically in Ahmedabad. Like a lot of accounting hub is happening
So,
there. Also,
okay.
in other big cities. So, CPA is 4 papers course. Like there'll be 3 mandatory paper for everyone, and one is like domain specific one. So the mandatory ones are like audit. You have to study audit and attestation. Then you have this finance audit, financial accounting and reporting. Here you will learn about accounting and all, cash flow, everything. Then you have business environment and concept. Here it's more about like compliance, regulation, ethics, internal controls and all. And then you have this discipline specific, where there are three disciplines they have given. One is like advanced financial reporting something, and another is like related to compliance tax.
I'll take from here. Sorry to interrupt you. So basically, in CPA, there are only four exams. The four exams are financial accounting, auditing, business environment, and regulation. So accounting is basically how you prepare financial statements, how you prepare income statement, balance sheet, cash flow. Auditing is something, how do you review those statements? Things like internal audit, statutory audit, everything is clear in here. Business environment is basically the similar to your management accounting and financial management. You study all the financial related concept like NPV, IRR. Also you study management related concept like budgeting, forecasting. All the costing and financial management part are covered in this particular subject called business environment. And lastly we have regulation. Regulation is basically their taxation, their their how are the direct taxes in US, what are the indirect taxes in US, more on the compliance side. That's why it's called as regulation. So these are the only four exams which are there in CPM. And to write to be eligible for CPA, you need to have a bachelor's degree of 4 years in accounting or finance. Unfortunately, in India, we do not have any degrees which are actually 4 years in degree. So if you are in your MBA or MCOM in second year, or have you already completed your MBA or MCOM or any finance or accounting qualification, then you are eligible for CPM. As I said, there are only four exams, which is the best part of CPM. And yeah, CPA is heavily in demand because the in India most of the US companies are outsourcing their auditing, outsourcing their professional services to India, specifically in companies like Deloitte. Deloitte has a separate branch called Deloitte USA, so they hire a lot of CPAs. Other companies like RSM, BDO, even they hire for their US accounting, US taxation, US uh, regulation part. So you can, unlike any other qualification like CA or ACCA, where you have 13 exams or 16 exams, here you have only four exams. You can complete it within a scam of 1 to 1.5 years, not beyond that. And yeah, the pass rate is also decent, 40 to 50%, which is the average pass rate of any international qualification. And yeah, like I hope everything is clear. Or like, do you have any doubts? You can please let me know in the chat box. Is everything clear till here? Which institute is good? I don't think like that will be a conflict of interest if we, disclose any kind of institute name. If you still want, you can reach out to me in person. I'll definitely guide you, but not here. Which one is better to appear first paper? So practically speaking, when you are starting your CPM, start with the financial accounting part because that is the most easiest subject of CPM. Once you understand accounting, auditing wouldn't be any challenge because auditing is something how are you reviewing the financial statements or whether the financial statements are prepared in that particular accounting standard or not. So if you have a good command on accounting, auditing will be a cakewalk for you. Then you can come towards the business environment and taxation, whichever way you want to go. I hope I'm cleared, Jahid. And Sneha, I want to ask you what was the one reason why you choose CMA US? I think that question is for Yusuf.
Yeah. So yeah, I wanted to I wanted to get into financial planning side, and CMA was a course which was offering that. That's why I end up choosing CMA US. CPA, yeah, I
May
guess there was some kind of disturbance. Like CAPA has four papers. Actually, there are three papers mandatory: auditing and attestation, financial accounting and reporting, and regulation. These three everyone has to write, and the another one is like discipline specific, where you have again sub three papers. One is business analysis and reporting, where you will be studying advanced accounting or financial reporting and all. Another is like information system and controls, where you will be learning cyber security, data management, and more about
I
internal
think
control.
like we are discussing for CPA US.
Yeah, like one person has asked Mujahid, may I know overall
Okay, the overall fee expense.
exams
So
for
there are only
CPA?
four exams, as I said. For one exam, the exam fees is approximately 50,000, 50 to 55,000. It depends upon the dollar rate. So let's say if you are not taking any coaching, you are just doing self-study. So that might consume around 2 to 2.5 lakh rupees. And yeah, because the exam fees is slightly expensive. If you are taking coaching, that then it might land up to at least like 3.5 or 4 lakhs, depending upon your coaching institute. But yeah, for per paper, there are only 50 to 55,000 is the exam fees. Again, the registration fee, which is the one-time payable, that's around 30 to 35,000. So roughly, the total cost is 2.5 lakhs approximately. If you don't do self-study, if you are not taking any coaching, if you are doing self-study, then it's 2.5 lakh. It might increase depending upon where are you taking coaching. I hope I'm clear. Arshadun, sir, I'm new operations and working on collateral management over the counter settlements. If I want to switch my job to mainly into fund accounting, either hedge fund or private equity, which could okay. Hi, Irshad. Yes, I can take your question. If you are working with over-the-counter settlements, to be very honest with you, things like fund accounting, whether it is private equity fund accounting or hedge fund accounting, this is something which is beyond the scope of the professional qualifications which we have, whether it's a CA, CMA, or CPA. You have to research. You have to learn it from by yourself. If you are interested working in the if you are interested in working in the code under private equity or hedge fund side, there is a qualification called CAIA, which stands for Chartered Alternative Investment Analyst, and there you study everything about private equity, hedge funds, derivatives, everything. The alternative investment class is covered. For specifically for the fund accounting, also a lot of chunk of fund accounting is covered in this called CAIM. You can try that. But again, as I said, in any kind of accounting qualification, the part of the fund accounting part is not covered in much detail. I myself am an ACCM. I have many friends who are CA or CPM. They don't they most of them, they don't know what is fund accounting. So like if you are interested in knowing more about fund accounting and how exactly you should build a career in fund accounting, you can reach out to me in person and I'll guide you. Arbaz, after intermediate, can we do CPM? Unfortunately, no, Arbaz. As I said earlier, to the minimum eligibility criteria of CPA is you need to have a 4-year bachelor's degree, which is not possible in India. So you have to be in your second year of MBA or MCOM. So you cannot start immediately after intermediate. So yeah, there is one question regarding USCMA. Over to you, Yusuf. Can USCMA be cleared only through self-study? Again, it depends upon you. It depends more upon the person. Like I have many friends who have cleared USCMA with self-study, and what will be the expense? It depends upon where are you taking coaching. Regarding the study material, I think you have to follow your institute material. I hope I'm clear, Pranchu. Mujahid, I'm pursuing BCom MCom from distance. Yes, you will be eligible for CPA, Mujahid. Depending if you are in your second year of exam, then you can definitely attempt the exam. You can register in your first year of MCom, but you can give the exam only when your second year. So yes, you are eligible. How to meet you in person? I'll share you my contact. You can just drop me a text. After this, then I'll just text my phone number in the chat box. So don't worry. So I hope everything is clear regarding the CPA part, or like, do you have any doubts? Is everything clear till here? Yeah, can you all please drop me a clear, then I'll move. Zed sir, can you come up with the ACC course? Yes, I am coming. Just give me a second, Aftab. I'll be coming. Just give me a second. Yeah. So I hope everything is clear. So I'll come towards the ACCA part. So ACCA stands for Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, and it's basically a UK-based course. Is having a recognition in more than 180 countries, and the minimum eligibility criteria is just 10th pass. And I'll just give you an interesting fact. The most youngest ACCA is hardly 18 years old because he started ACCA when he was in 10th class only. So ACCA is divided into total 13 exams, and the best part about ACCA is you don't have to, give your exams in groups. You can give one exam at one time. Like for any Indian exam like CA, CMA, or CS, you have to appear for exam in a group. Like for example, you're appearing for CM. For CA Inter, you have to give like in one attempt, you have to attempt for one group, like 3 exams or 4 exams. And unfortunately, if you fail in one exam, you have to, appear for the group again. And again, your 6 months are gone. Similarly, in CFA also, if you fail just one subject or you fail in aggregate, then you have to repeat all your exams. So this is one of the most biggest challenge which makes the CA course so difficult. So ACCA, people do consider ACCA as an alternative because ACCA gives you the flexibility of giving one exam at one time, which is not there in any Indian qualification. For example, subject like financial reporting, financial management, or auditing, these subjects are covered in CA as well as ACCA. But ACCA you can give one exam in one time, but in CA you have to give it in a group, like in a group of 3 subjects or 4 subjects. And if you fail in one group, you have to reappear, or you have to reappear for all the subjects. And ACCA we not have that. The subjects are very similar to your CA only, but the biggest difference is here what all accounting and auditing which we study, that's more on an international side. For example, in India, the companies prepare their financial statements as per NDS, which is called as Indian Accounting Standard. Internationally, in UK, Europe, and different countries, they prepare their financial statements as per IFRS, which is called as International Financial Reporting Standard. Similarly, we have international standards on auditing. We have the UK taxation. Everything which we study is more on an international aspect rather than an Indian aspect. And coming the total 13 exams, let's say, also the best part of ACCA is you can start it immediately after 10th or 12th. And for example, if you have some previous qualification, like you are a BCom, you are a CA Inter, you are a CMA final, based on your previous qualification, you will be eligible for certain exemptions. So you don't have to give all the 13 exams. For example, let's say you have completed your BCom, then you can get like 4 exemptions. You have to give only 9 exams. Let's say you are qualified CM, then you have to give only 4 exams. Let's say you are a qualified CMA or a part qualified CMA, then you will again given 6 to 7 exemptions. If you are a US CMA, then again you'll be given certain exemptions. The exemption part of ACCA is something which is not within the scope of this webinar. If you are interested in learning more about the exemption part based on your previous qualification, then you can reach out to me in person. I'll just share you my contact number. And again, the job opportunities are very similar to your chartered accountancy part because the subjects are mostly similar. But one of the biggest differences, for example, if you want to get into Indian taxation, Indian, direct tax or GST, you might not be able to get into it because of ACCA, because here the aspect is more international, and specifically for domestic laws, people do prefer CA instead of ACCM. But for international, for a lot of companies, a lot of MNCs are having the international operations. If you have to go like IFRS standards or UK taxation, then ACCA is definitely required. And I am a qualified ACCM. I completed my ACCA within 2.5 years. Like I started when I was my second year of BCom. I completed my ACCA after 6 months of BCom. So, and which is it is very good for me because I can, unlike any other qualification, I don't have to, spend 5 years or 6 years. I completed it at a very young age, and the the exam frequency is 4 times a year. For each attempt, you can give one exam. There is no rule that you have to give certain exams. Also, you like, let's say if you fail in one exam, you have to appear that particular exam only. You don't have to give the entire group of exams again. So that is the best part. And yeah, it is a global accounting qualification. It's highly, in countries like UK or Luxembourg, they usually follow international financial reporting standards. So it's heavily, if used there. If you have plans going abroad, then this will definitely help you. And yeah, I hope everything is clear till here. Regarding the exemption part, I might take a separate session for that as well, or you can just drop me a text on WhatsApp. I'll get back to you. So, what should be the main aim of choosing ACCA over other courses, and possible to pursue with job? Also, after one more thing, I wanted to tell you, like most of my friends are studying ACCA with full-time job. For example, there's a friend of mine by the name Zubair. He's working in the internal audit part at Deloitte. So he's like 27, 28 years old. He's having an experience of, let's say, 6 years. He is studying ACCA along with his job, and he's only left with 2 or 3 exams. So international qualifications, you can study with full-time job unless like you have to study more on the weekends part. But the majority of people who are studying ACCA, they are working professionals only. So yeah, or what will the main aim of choosing ACCA? I'll tell you my experience why I choose ACCM. The reason I chose ACCA was, it gave me the flexibility of one exam at one time. I was able to enjoy my college life. I had, I enjoyed my college life. I had participated in various events. So this is not the case in case of Indian qualification like CA or CMA, where you have to spend like 8 hours or 9 hours in the coaching institute. So it gave me the flexibility of giving one exam, and I learned finance and accounting a lot in depth, and again that helped me, in my first job at S&P Global. I hope I'm clear to you, Aftab. Sneha said, "What are the exam windows for CPA along with, I believe, so credit us?" Yes, Sneha, like for example, regarding the eligibility. Yes, the like for CPA, if you want to be a CPA holder, then instead of, for example, let's say you're not having a master's degree, but you are having a certain experience of like some kind of like 3 years or 4 years within the accounting part, then you're also eligible for CPM. And to get your CPA charter holder, there is a certain requirement of having some work experience. I'm not sure exactly. You can open the website called AI CPM. You can check the exact credit hours which is required, because this is something which changes frequently, and I'm not aware about the exact hours which is required as of now. I hope I'm clear to you, Snehi.
Like, Snake, can you repeat the question?
It's there in the chat box.
Okay.
I'll just take one
Sorry,
question.
I got disconnected because of poor network.
Yes,
Then
sir.
what
After
the
graduation,
exam
what can
windows
be
for
the
CPA, and along with what I believe, as per my information, I believe you got 120 credit hours and one not 150. So Snail, the demand of CPA is so much, so there is no particular exam window. CPA can be written on any day, 365 days from Jan 1st to 31st December. You just need to book your pre-metric center and you can go and take. And about credit hours, different boards offer. Yeah, I'm coming to boards only. Different boards have different credit hours, not much difference. Like NASBARD and all have 120 credit hours, and some boards have 150 credit hours. So yeah, if it depends with which board you have registered yourself. If you're registered with a board which is requiring 120 credit hours, so with 3 years of graduation and 1 year of masters is eligible. You can take the exam, or you can get a certified also. If your board specific is 150 credit hours, then you need after 12 5 years of college degree. Then in that case, you need to do MBA. So that's why institute are coming, CPA along with MBA. There is two university, Jan University in Mumbai and Bangalore, and also Christ University. So they have a tie-up with CPA boards and CPA institutes. So it's a you take MBA from there. That is online, totally online. You can sit in any part of the country and get MBA also and CPA also done from there. What are the different boards? They are like almost 50 boards, like 50 states, 50 boards. Majority of the boards are having 120 credit hours only. Only like very few are having 150 credit hours. I guess that answers your question.
Yeah, I can see some questions, sir. After graduation, just a second. What can be the minimum duration? The minimum duration, again, it depends how many exams which you are giving. Let's say let's say if you're giving two exams in one time, which is very rare, then you can complete within 2 to 2.5 years. But the average duration of ACCA is 3 to 3.5 years. Sir, is ACCA has offline classes? Yes, there are many offline classes. Um, like there are many good, offline classes. You can just drop me a text. I'll get back to you. Like, hi sir, good afternoon. What is the best channel for CA and CMA? I think for CA, there is a channel called Neeraj Arora, like what I have heard from my friends. For CMA, I think I might not be the right person. I hope I had cleared your doubt, Aftab. After qualifying SCCA, can you directly, to be very honest with you, after qualifying SCCA, you don't directly get into work visa or work abroad. Most of the coaching institutes, they make such false promises, but I don't want you to do that. After ACCA, let's say you have a work experience or a good qualitative experience of let's say 5 years or 7 years, then you can definitely, try a work visa abroad, but just having ACCA wouldn't give you a golden ticket to go abroad. You need to have some good amount of contacts. You need to have good amount of experience. It depends upon your personality. There is no such guarantee. If I choose to do a self-study CMA, what is the? I think that question is for Yusuf.
I think he has some network issues. If you don't
No
find
issues.
him, I think you can take
For
it over.
US CMA, like what I have heard from my friends is there's a channel called Miles Education. I'm not promoting any channel, but like I've heard it from my friends. They have good content on YouTube. You can refer that. Regarding the study material, what I have heard from my friends is usually they had using their own study material, which is the institute material, for their preparation in US CMA. I hope that clears it out, Pranchu. So like till now, do you have any doubts till ACCM? Is ACCA enough, or we should add up more courses? That sir. Aftab, you can just drop me a text. I'll come to the institute names. Uh, yeah, ACCA is more than enough to get you a job. I myself am an ACCA. I don't have any MBA or any other degree. Just because of ACCA, I got my first job. So ACCA is more than enough. If you want to, let's say, get into things like code finance, then a qualification like CFA will help you. Or if you want to, are working with US based clients, if you want to understand the US accounting standards, then a CPA might help you. But ACCA is enough to, at least for your first job, ACCA is more than enough. Regarding the institute name, I can just drop me a text. I'll get back to you. So till now, is everything clear? And do you have any more doubts? I'll just drop me a, just give me a second. So I've entered my contact number. You can text me after the webinar. I'll get back to you. So is everything clear till now? Explain the required for license. I didn't get you, Abdul Basit.
Yeah, so in CPA, you will get license. So you should have minimum 2 years of experience, then only you will be eligible to get license in CPA.
I think
Am I
we should
audible?
move forward. So yeah, this is about the CFA part. So CFA, you purely focus on the finance side. For example, let's say if I have given you 100 crores to invest, so where will you invest it? So, for example, let's say I'm having 100 crore rupees to invest. First, I'll pick up the stock market part, which is the equity. Then I'll move towards things like debt. Then I'll move towards alternative investments like real estate, gold, commodities, derivatives. These are all asset classes. And how are you going to manage money? CFA is all about finance. How are you going to manage money? If someone is giving you, let's say, 100 crores or 200 crores, how exactly, how are you dividing your money in different asset classes? How much money are you giving in each particular asset class? It's more about the core finance side. It's more about the financial markets, investment analysis, and core finance side. This has nothing to do with the accounting or auditing part. We focus purely. So in the chat box, can anyone tell me what is the basic difference between accounting and finance? I presume that you are commerce students. So basically, accounting is historic. Accounting tells what has already happened in the past. For example, if we prepare financial statements like income statement, balance sheet, or cash flow, that tells us what has already happened in the past. Finance is something where we predict the future, where we predict based on based on the historic outcome, what will be the future. Finance is not exactly forecasting. It's about finance is forward looking. So that is the basic difference between accounting and finance. Here in CFA, you'll be focusing purely on the finance side, and each and every subject like equity, derivatives. Let's say if you are given some amount of money to manage, then how will you manage money? How will you invest that money? What are the different asset classes you look at? How do you construct a portfolio? It's all about core finance side. So basically, there are three levels in CFA: level one, level two, level three. Most people who are pursuing CFA are working professionals only who are working, in the asset management side, portfolio management side, investment banking side. These are the people who usually pursue CFA. The minimum eligibility criteria is you have to be in your second year of graduation. And most people tell me that I'm not from BCom, I'm not from BBA, I'm from a background like engineering, BCA, BA. Even they can pursue CFA. There is no criteria that you have to be a commerce student to pursue CFA. Before the criteria was you have to be in the final year of your graduation, but now the criteria have been revised, and if you are in the second year of graduation, let's say you have just passed your 12th, you can take 1 year time to study for the CFA, and when you are in your second year, you can immediately attempt the CFA exam. The exam fees is a little expensive. The exam fees of per level CFA is approximately 1 lakh. So the total cost and the registration fee is approximately 35,000. So let's say if you're not taking any coaching and you're just appearing, you're just doing self-study, then the total cost will be around 3.5 lakh. 1 lakh for the exam fees and 30 to 35,000 for your registration fee and 10 15,000 for your miscellaneous expenses. But don't there is also something called a CFA scholarship. What is CFA scholarship? Basically, you have to write an essay to the CFA Institute to tell about yourself, introduce yourself, and why should CFA Institute invest on you? Why should CFA Institute give you a scholarship? I've seen many of my friends who are also from middle class family. Even they got the CFA scholarship. If you are interested, learning more about the CFA scholarship part, how after let's say if you get the scholarship, the exam fees of rupees 1 lakh that will be reduced to only 30,000. That's like almost 70% decrease. And for all those people who are from middle class family, is really helpful for them. You just have to write an essay for the scholarship. If you are interested in learning how exactly you have to write the essay, how exactly you will be availing a scholarship, you can please drop me a text on my WhatsApp. I'll get back to you. Regarding the exam frequency, there are four attempts for level one, two for level two for level three, and the pass rate is very good. It's in the range of 40 to 50%, which is very high when compared to any Indian qualification. And you study there are total of 10 subjects in it, and it's purely finance about how things like financial markets or derivatives, how are you exactly managing people's money. And most people after doing CFA they get into fields like investment banking, asset management. So I remember one guy was asking me what is investment banking. Investment banking is basically they help corporates to raise and deploy money. If let's say there is a company who wants to raise an IPO, IPO stands for initial public offering. It means they want to list on the stock market. They have to go to an investment bank like Goldman Sachs or Morgan Stanley. They have so the investment banks do the the valuation part, the underwriting part. Basically, investment bank is something who is an intermediary between the company and an investor. If an investor wants to invest certain money and a company wants to raise certain money, investment bank connects the investor and the the company, and they take a commission of it. It's a separate field, investment banking, and for having for a career in core finance, you have to understand purely what are the asset classes, what are the portfolio management strategies, what is the valuation. As I said, most people who are done with at least CFA level one or CFA level two, they usually start working in the asset management or no is investment banking or any other core finance industry. They can easily expect a package of 6 to 7 lakh, which is reasonably high compared to the cost. And if you are a CFA charter holder, to become a CFA charter holder, you need to clear all the three levels, plus you need to have a work experience of 3 years. Your work experience, could be anything like corporate finance or asset management or investment banking or any other private debt, any other, it has to be within the scope of finance. And let's say if you have already, let's say before completing CFA, you already had some 3 years of experience, then also you can add that experience in your practical experience requirement. And CFA charter holders can easily make up to 15 LPM. That is the bare minimum which I am selling. And for mostly people who are already working in this industry, like I was talking to my like in my particular company, there's a senior manager who is approximately 40 years old. Even at that age, he was giving a CFA level 3 exam because he already had some experience in portfolio management, asset management. So, what all the subjects are CFA, he's able to relate to subjects because he had done everything practical. So, yeah, this was about CFA. And yeah, if you have any doubts, you can let me know in the chat box. Can you reflect a early bet? Yes, you can reflect a early bird registration for CFA. You have to check the CFA Institute website. So let's say even like the exam fees which I am telling you, which is approximately $1,000 right now. That is the after the early bird registration. If let's say you're registered after 6 months, that it might go up to 1.3 lakh something. The CFA Institute has recently revised their exam fees, so you can check on their website. So yeah, any more doubts with respect to CFA? Which course is better, CFA or ACCA? It completely depends what's your background, what you have, what's your understanding. So, like it's a, if you are having interest in core accounting, finance, auditing, taxation, then you can pursue ACCM. If you are like, I don't like accounting and auditing. I want to focus purely on finance. I want to work purely in financial markets. Then CFA would be the best course for you. Most of my friends, after completing their ACCM, they land up, they work, they start studying for CFA as well. Because the thing is, most people don't understand basic accounting and basic finance. Or if you are someone who is from completely, non-finance background, if you don't even know what is a financial market, then I recommend people to start with a basic idea of ACCA basic subjects. Then at least if you are in a position to differentiate between accounting and finance, you understand what is financial markets, you understand what is asset management, what are derivatives, then CFA would be the right choice for you. CFA is something which most of the ACCA or most of the CM they pick up once they start working. And yeah, I hope I cleared your question, Arbaz. Sir, my background is in have completed graduation. Can you suggest me the best course? As I said, Nabil, there is no course which is best for you. You just have to pick the course which is best for. There is no course which is perfectly aligned with your aspiration. You have to pick that particular course. There is no course called good or bad something. It depends on what you want to do. Any more questions with respect to CFM? Is everything clear? Is everything clear till here? Then I'll move forward. So yeah, this finally we have the FRM qualification. FRM stands for Financial Risk Manager. In US, this qualification is extremely popular. In India, it's gaining more recognition. Firstly, I want you to tell me what do you understand by the term called risk? In your easy layman words, can anyone tell me what is a risk? Anyone? No, no, not uncertainty. Can anyone tell me a difference? Like, can anyone differentiate me between risk and uncertainty? Risk is something where you have some probable outcomes. In uncertainty, you don't have any probability. For example, if I tell you, uh, what if the tomorrow will it rain or not? That is uncertainty. Even if you forecast it, you might not be accurate. In case of risk, you have some probabilities, you have some historic data available, then you can, that's called as risk. When there is no historical data, when there is no probabilities given to us, that is uncertainty. So risk is something the standard deviation between the expected outcome and the actual outcome. Let's say if you are a student, you are expecting, let's say in a exam of 100 marks, you are expecting 70 marks, but actually you got only 50 marks. So this particular difference is in a easy layman words, that is risk, that you predicted something and you got something else. So I'm explaining it in a very easy and very layman language, so even the non-finance people can understand it. And this was about risk. So basically, in financial risk is managing about the how do you managing the. Firstly, there are different kinds of risk. There is reputational risk, there is financial risk, there is non-financial risk. There are different kinds of risk, but specifically for this qualification has to do with only the financial risk. So in financial risk, there are again two types of risks. For example, an interest rate risk. Let's say I have taken a loan of 10%, for example, and I am concerned that RBI might increase the repo rate, then the interest rate might rise. I'm exposing to us a financial risk. Let's say I have to get some money from US, and I'm concerned that our US dollar might appreciate or the Indian rupee might depreciate. Then the my future cash flows might be affected because of this. Again, this is a financial risk. How do you manage this risk? You manage this risk by something called as derivatives, and again, it's a separate financial concept for it. So in FRM, it's all about, how do you manage the market risk, how do you manage the credit risk. For all the, whether it's a commercial bank or an investment bank, they hire a lot of credit risk analysts. So basically, the responsibility of a credit risk analyst is you have to analyze the financial statements, you have to analyze the company's performance, and give us the credibility whether the company, there is a probability whether the company is going to default on the loan or not. That's a credit risk. Operational risk means the human error, or the technological risk. Liquidity risk is something the company is not able to, not having sufficient amount of cash or equivalents, or they might not be able to sell a particular asset. That's called regulation. That's called liquidity risk. So there are different kinds of risk. So FRM, there are only two exams. First is the foundation, second is the application. So the first part one exam of FRM has to do with, this will just give you an overview what do you understand by financial risk. Then it will cover various risks like market risk, credit risk, operational risk, liquidity risk, and also a lot of statistics is involved. So if you are a math person, then you will love this subject because there's a lot of statistics involved in it. And again, it's also a qualification which heavily overlaps with the CFA. You're already a CFA charter holder, then a lot of concepts you must already be familiar with it. And the thing with FRM, it's specifically specializing in the financial risk management side. In case of CFA, financial risk management is only a particular concept. It's not much deep depth. So most people pursue qualification like FRM for already working in the financial risk management side, whether it's a treasury risk or market risk. There are many investment banks, there are many financial institutions like D, Shaw, they heavily hire FRMs for their risk management side, and even globally the qualification is heavily recognized. The exam fees is approximately 50 to 55,000. So let's say if you are doing only self study, then it might take you around 1 to 1.5 lakh rupees. If you are taking coaching, then it might be higher, like 2.5 to 3, depending upon the coaching which you are taking. And FRM, mostly after completing FRM, you will land up a job in things like credit risk analyst or market risk. And how do you manage those risks? More on the governance, more on the the risk, financial risk management side, and things like whether it's commercial banking, investment banking, insurance, they are all exposed to certain kind of risk. So they need an FRM to tell us how do you manage that risk. So they heavily hire FRM candidates. And yeah, I hope FRM is clear. With FRM, can we do a quant job? Quant job is something, there's a separate field called as quantitative finance that involves heavily maths, that involves heavily tech. FRM, like you can land up with a quant job, but usually the people prefer, usually the for getting a quant finance job, you need to have you have to be an MBA finance, and you have to be an MBA in quantitative finance, and you have to be very good with the maths part and the all the programming coding part. Quantitative finance is something which is completely different, and quantitative finance something more on the mathematical aspect of finance, and there's heavily a tech involved in it. There's a separate degree called MSc in quantitative finance. It's not very much popular in India. Also, there is a qualification called CQF, which stands for Chartered Quantitative Finance. You can do that particular qualification if you want to get a job in quant. But to be very honestly with you, the jobs in quant finance are very limited, and the competition is very high. And even the starting salaries of quant finance and investment banks start with above 30 lakh per annum. And they usually prefer people who are already are qualified engineers from top engineering institutes. Also, they have a master's degree in quantitative finance with at least 2 to 3 years of experience. So for a fresher, it's not easy to get a job in quant finance. FRM can help you. FRM can help you with the more on the risk management side, but quant finance is something which is beyond the scope of FRM. So I'll just write it down. The qualifications which are required for quant finance, you can go through it. So let's see if you are someone. No, FMBA is completely different. FMBA stands for Financial Modeling and Valuation Analyst. that's a completely different qualification. That's more on the investment banking side. We need to prepare the financial models and do the valuation part. Quant finance is something is completely different. Quant finance more about the mathematical part, more about the tech part of finance. For example, things like data analytics or data prediction. Let's say if you are working in a hedge fund and based on the future stock price, you have to predict the future based on the historic stock price. You have to predict the future stock price. Then they use a lot of mathematical models. They use a lot of complex technology. Then that's again more on the math and tech part. FMVA is something which is very different. What about IFRS sets? IFRS stands for International Financial Reporting Standards. These are basically accounting standards for global companies. So all the international companies who are based in UK, Europe, this is the standard in which they prepare their financial statements. Like Indian companies, we prepare their financial statements as per Ind AS, Indian Accounting Standards. Similarly, other countries like UK or European countries, they prepare their financial statements like income statement, balance sheet, cash flow, using the IFRS standard. I hope I'm clear to you, Mansoor. Also, I hope I cleared your doubt, Abdul Basit, or do you have any more doubts? Is everything clear till here? Yes? Can anyone please confirm me? Is your doubt cleared, Muhammad Abdul Basit, regarding quant finance? I think any scholarship for CMA and CPA, I think Yusuf might take that question for us. CPA, I'm not aware they have any scholarship. For CMA US, I think Yusuf might be the right person to answer it.
Yes, there are scholarship routes for students who are
Sir,
from regular college.
Please mute yourself, Sufyan. How can we? I think I've already shared you my numbers. You can reach out to me in person. So we'll come to the last slide. Again, if you are focusing, if you don't know what to do, and you are focused more towards the financial reporting part, the accounting part, auditing part, then a qualification like CA, ACCA, and CPA will definitely help you. If you are more towards the finance side, then a qualification like CFA and FRM will be the right choice for you. If you are focused more towards management side, the cost management side, then CMA India or CMA US might be the right choice for you. And if you are not a numbers guy, if you understand like more theory subjects, then as company secretary might be the right choice for you. Over to you. I hope everything is clear in this seminars. Hi sir, I've completed BBA graduation and planning for USME. Is there any recommendation skills or courses that yes, Sufyan, I think I recommend you, if possible, just on YouTube. Like just see what do you understand by the term called financial planning and analysis. Read what do you understand by the term budgeting, forecasting, and costing part. Just watch a couple of lectures on YouTube. And if you feel that I enjoy this thing, I enjoy what is the costing part, then you can definitely pick up the USCMA part. There is no such thing of skills or courses. You can just open YouTube. There are many, costing related content available. You can see that and then you can make a final decision.
Zaid and Yusuf, are we done with this?